when Ripple put out the statement regarding their focus on the low value payments, even some in the XRP community started speaking behind the back. Now listen to what Bank of America has to say regarding this.
Real-time payments, or RTP, is a new way to transfer funds instantly, anytime. It's the first new clearing system in the U.S. in about 40 years and has the potential to simplify your operations, reduce your payment risks, and deepen your supplier and customer relationships. Although it's called real-time payments, RTP is designed for sending and receiving funds to both companies and individuals. So you can use RTP through Bank of America to do business with vendors, suppliers, customers, and even employees.
Now, if you look back and check at the statement from Ripple stating they would like to give a bit of highlight for the partnership with Bank of America, these are one of the reasons, because if you look at their statement, it is highlighting that, if you compare anyway, like UK, they had real-time payments from 20-30 years. But for US, this is something new, right? They are pointing out the value of real-time payments. Now, let's listen to the rest of that.
So let's get started. RTP was launched last year in the U.S. by the Clearinghouse. It's the first new clearing system since the 1970s, and it complements other types of electronic low-value payments such as ACH, card, and mobile. But there are two key traits that set RTP apart from those other payment types. First and foremost is speed. Real-time payments settle instantly and are irrevocable. The other differentiator is that you can send and receive real-time payments 24/7 when other payment options aren't available.
It really highlights some of the benefits for real-time payments. But if you look at what Ripple offers to Bank of America and other banking institutions in the financial sector, you can understand that partnership with Ripple and Bank of America gives an edge for Bank of America while entering into this payment space. Now, they talked about instant payments and instant settlements. So that is a key aspect to understand about the back and clearing process whenever we do these type of payments.
Globally, real-time payments already have a head start. The United Kingdom, for example, launched faster payments 10 years ago. They continue to grow in that market, and similar growth is forecast for the U.S. At the same time, low-value payments are booming globally due largely to e-commerce and the gig economy, which means lots of potential opportunity for RTP growth everywhere.
Listening to that, you can't really question Ripple's business model or the target towards the low value payments, because when Ripple, the company, already understands that ILP is going to bridge everything using XRP ledger, they understood that the micro payments or low value payments all will be going through, and mainly low value payments would be having higher frequency. So that would be a perfect business model to look at in the near future. Say in this decade, they're actually going to change the world. So it is clear that the world is changing, and the role of Ripple as a payment provider, the software provider, is exceptionally going well. So the role of Ripple and XRP is becoming clearer as we go by each day. Christine Lagarde today highlighted the digital transition, and it's a rapid one which she is talking about, right? Faster digital transition. Now, a rapid one when they talk about, at the same time you are seeing that euro is feeling the fire on its back due to the health crisis. You all know about that, right? So you can see them, meaning the European Central Bank, moving rapidly onto a digitized economy. Why? They have to survive this crash. Now, is it only one economy? No, it's various economies all around the world. We are able to watch something similar. And how it is benefiting various economies? Because they are entering into improved payments infrastructures and rapid payments and settlement, they are getting more advantage. So when they are moving ahead, these are going to be a radical restructuring of the entire financial system. Now, when we say that, you have to understand the entire financial system means all the money. Now, by the end of this video, if you're watching full, you are going to get a lot more information regarding the change and the rapid discussion between the move into XRP. Now, yeah, we understand that Ethereum is getting concentration from last 2-3 years due to their smart contracts, right? So when you look at general Ethereum based platforms and how they are being executing this type of payments in different aspects, even if you're sending 0.1 ETH, what is the fee now? You have to actually check all of that. Now, looking at that, radical restructuring is going to happen soon. Now, I would actually like to know what do you guys think about this discussion. Now, we'll actually go through different articles covering different payments system and the perspectives from one to another central bank, the payment providers, and one to another nation looking at this. Now, at the same time, we would also cover fundamental changes which are pointing towards the crypto side. And for what? Payments. And when we look at crypto side for payments, instant payments, who really offer that value to banks, central banks, and the regulators, now we understand that clearly, right? So we are going to discuss through that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. If you saw value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like button. I would like to extend that I was not able to do the content today morning due to the havoc caused by typhoon Masik in southern parts of Korea. Yeah, I know 2020 is still coming at us. It's still coming at us. Next week, a similar sized typhoon is in the forecast for Korea. 2020 is still it's still 4 months to go. Now we don't know what else it brings. Anyway, if you would like to support the research and standard value proposition laid out in this channel, you can use the Patreon and PayPal link in the description below. You can also suggest me to do anything differently if you would like to. Now, when we enter into these information, say the first one as we listened is from Bank of America, and it really points out the importance of real-time payments. Now, when they say real-time payments, even in the domestic era, it's not only the messaging system they are talking about. They are talking about the back-end clearing or the settlement. Now, don't get confused about it's only a domestic economy. They are moving value from USD to USD. You don't actually need a bridge asset there. Now, as of now, you don't need a bridge asset. But the radical restructuring of financial system means you are going to have a lot of different digital assets, from one corporate organization to central bank and all over. Now they really need something different, and that is where we are heading, faster digital transition. And when we transit into that side, you should consider this. Now, yeah, we talked about the huge fees from other networks. Now that is to consider one way or the other. It's not good for the payment, not good as a payment provider, but what we are looking further into is this. Climate protection is a priority. Now, if you go to UN website and look at their sustainability, green sustainable future targets for 2025 and 2030, you can understand that they are looking at a green future, not some energy hungry monster network like BTC and other mining networks, which mostly concentrated on China. Now, when they talk about the faster digital transition and climate protection and all, they complete that statement with what? Completed banking union and capital markets union backed by cutting edge payment system. Wow. Now that comes from ECB head, Christine Lagarde, president of the ECB. Now, when she was in IMF, we heard her talking directly about Ripple in front of the media. She was not hiding anything. She clearly stated that the disruptors are clearly shaking the system. Now, yes, the regulators are really slow, so the adoption in that particular aspect was really slow. But now the time for a tipping point or flip the switch moment is kind of nearing us. Now, that is actually a second part of the tweet from this one, in which they were actually discussing about the current crisis and how the economy can push back into a breathable state, a healthy state. Now, why we say a healthy state? If they get improved payment system, now they have a lot of different aspects to consider for this. This is just an example from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe corn deliveries soar on improved payments to farmers. Now that is one side, say farmers are going to get more money. Now, if you are relying on a payment system which would take more time to deliver, even if you are getting 10% more value, if it is being delayed so much, that doesn't actually work in a proper manner. But if you are going to get that extra money rapidly using instant payment methods, it's actually going to kick off. Now, this tweet from Bank of International Settlement shows that where we are headed now. From Christine Lagarde, we already saw that we are headed for a digital transition and we are looking for cutting-edge payment system, right? Now, here from Bank of International Settlement, who actually cares more about payments, they talk about this. Many supervisory authorities believe that innovative tools and technologies can help overcome supervisory and risk management challenges now. They are talking that about the correspondent banking network, the banking chains, how slow the processes are, what kind of risks are involved in that, how it is time consuming, blah, blah, blah. Now, just concentrate here. They're talking about innovative tools and technologies. Just different words are being used. Cutting edge payment system, innovative technologies, it's all pointing towards one thing. It's a new financial structure. In that infrastructure, the payment would be instantaneous. It would be settling like instant, right? So that is where we are all headed. And followed by that, you get to see this from Bank of International Settlement, in which they again talk about the supervision of correspondent banking follows similar principle across jurisdictions, but the practical implementation can vary. So you don't really have that kind of standardized approach while you go through these chains, right? Banking chains. So how can this be improved? You really need that interoperability between that layer of moving the value. When you are moving value from one nation to another using these chains, you really need that. Now, when we talk about that, I would like to first jump into this one and then come back to others. Say, for example, Ripple Insight shows you this on September 2. So that's just yesterday, right? Why real-time cross-border payments are poised to break through. I just showed you the reasons, right, from Bank of America. You just got that from ECB. Now you are looking at different aspects from BIS, and all over the world central banks and the governments are looking at this, because if they can execute these payments and settle those instantly, the benefits are for governments and central banks too. Now, at this stage of the current economy is going to the downside. If you look at the GDP growth, it's not actually growth, it's shattering to see nations like UK going minus 20%, India going minus 23%, and China, where it all began, it's still minus 3%. So I wonder how that really happened. Why? The financial structure of China, the financial system of China is way next century. Like, it's a next century system compared to all we have in other nations. They don't use cash. If you go there with cash, they would be looking you like someone came, some animal just broke out from the zoo, or someone who just time traveled and came here. No, that's not my kind of, example. I heard that directly from Jim Rogers, because he was explaining one of his experience back in China when he was there trying to buy something from the street and all. So nowadays, they do payments using mobile. The WhatsApp Pay, not WhatsApp Pay, sorry about that. It's a WeChat Pay and other system like that. Majority don't even use cards. So when we talk about our payment system, majority are using cash and then cards. We are not actually into these systems like WeChat Pay and rest of that. But real-time payments in that aspect, connected with the low value payments and the frequency, it really is going to be a breakthrough, and it won't actually take much time from here, because we already waited a long time. If you have been here as an XRP investor from 2017, you would already understand what I am pointing towards. Now, when we talk about all of this, say this particular article shows Swiss crypto bank, which is already connected towards trading, crypto assets and other stuff. They are looking for approval for digital asset trading. Now, when we understand they are already there looking at the digital asset market, being custodian and other stuff, this won't be just one bank. If one bank execute this stuff and become successful, what will others do? It's simple, right? they also want to compete in that area where they can make profit. Now, if you see now the charge here, I agree it's huge, but at the same time, what is the time frame here? 5+ hour delays. We are actually looking at what cutting edge payment system with 5-hour delays? I don't think that's the way. Blockchain use in what? For the payments. Now, what kind of payments? The relief efforts, meaning when they are giving them the checks, it takes time. They want to actually give citizens more support via a digital payment system, which is a new age state of the art technology. President Trump already highlighted that we already have the existing payment system is like 40 years old legacy system, which is not supporting what the government actually want to do. And at the same time, yes, we need transparency too, right? So this from CoinDesk actually shows the level of transparency from Coinbase. Now we haven't actually got that kind of level of transparency regarding even Flare Network's Spark distribution. Now, the same time, we know that different exchanges are already high on this. They're getting in talks. They are highlighting that there is a possibility. Some like this come out and state, yep, we are working on that. So it's cool. So if you are not ready for this and you're still on Coinbase or other exchange where you are not being offered something like that, you can directly move into a Ledger Nano. It's up to you, or into another exchange which allow this execution. So that's where we are all headed right now. South Korea's central bank is taking its central bank digital currency development to the next stage. Now, what is the next stage? And if you remember, previously South Korea was one of the countries which checked about central bank digital currency and told, we don't need it now. Our economy is advanced. As of now, our payment system is modern. We don't need it now. We can wait for some time. But now things are changing. Why? I told you, right? It's from Christine Lagarde, it's from Bank of America, it's from different central banks around the world. We are getting same information. We are entering into a shaking system, right? The system is already shaking and we need a next generation banking, financial restructuring. So the infrastructure is being created by Ripple, the company, working with regulators, banks, central banks, corporates, giants around the world. And yes, that would benefit a lot of other crypto projects which focus on payments. Why? Because this innovation from Ripple, now this tweet from Marcus is kind of self-explanatory, right? My take on the power of DLT innovation with ISO standards, the key to redefining cross-border payments. Redefining, restructuring, shattering, disrupting, it's all the same thing. We are gonna have that done soon. Now, I don't know the reliability or the genuinity of this particular item here, but if it is reliable, then what we see here is the quantum financial system would begin instant payments. Now, I have kind of a doubt in my own system, say my brain, when I'm looking at that, why you need quantum financial system to execute instant payments? Basically, that doesn't make any sense for me. If you are using, that POW networks, maybe you need that to increase your mining blah 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 stuff to validate those transactions, but otherwise you don't actually need it just for payments as of now. With the current infrastructure, jumping into that would be too far a leap. Now, the highlighted part here is like announcement and start of restored republic and global governments, blah 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 blah, new gold and asset backed system. Now, that kind of shows something similar to that of synthetic central bank digital currency and asset backed financial system, which can be gold, cannot be gold. It can vary from nation to nation. Not every country has gold in their reserves. Look at Canada. So the Canadian government is not looking into that. Instead, they would be having something. They would be working with someone else. Who is the Central Bank of Canada working with? We all know, Ripple the company. So what would be the asset which would be backing their central bank digital currency? There are chances, right? So that's cool. So I hope that's a lot for your time, right? If you so value for your time, do support the channel, hit that like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.